opportunity which was available. And while it was not there at that point of time, I think it is there today with the country moving on in the last 6 years, growing, lifestyles changing, sophistication increasing, the need for holidays becoming more and more. And therefore, I think 2018 was the right time we wanted to strike. We wanted to finish our work on our hardware. So that was the first thing, because you have to put money where your mouth is. It's very important in this business. Second, we had to train our people, and this was all done. So then we also reached a certain size. I think that was also important. And we said, okay, I didn't want to be outside of it watching it, because timesharers are generally beyond 35 to 55 and so on. So then we changed our business to say, and luckily we had enough of inventory. Inventory was not a problem. We had enough rooms. And therefore we changed our business model to say that we'll be a holiday company. We'll welcome anybody who wants to come to us with open arms. So we accordingly did packages. We also said the timeshare members are special to us, and they'll continue to be special to us because they have helped build the brand. So we changed the business first, and we did it practically over a period of time. Organization was any different. I think Sterling's DNA was very strong. It was committed to its customers and to be able to deliver holidays to them. But the gap was in terms of the financials, and therefore properties had not got refurbished. So we had, at that point of time when I joined, around 1,200 rooms, around 11 properties which are all owned, and not any of them refurbished. And it's a very, very strange situation in a hotel chain, because normally you get refurbishments in a cycle. And here we entered into a situation where all the inventory had to be refurbished. Of course, the CRM that we had was something which was developed in 1995, and it didn't have technical support. When I came in, I found the CRM, the list that we had of customers or the data, had landlines and old addresses. And in 2011 we are talking of, July 2011. So a lot of issues were there, but the only thing good we had was we had a lot of committed people with us. So my task was to, one, bolster the confidence of all these people that this is only the start for Sterling to go somewhere else. Second was, as I said earlier, to put money where our mouth is, and therefore start the refurbishments. And I think I took one big risk at that point of time. We were at occupancies, I told you, 1,200 rooms and occupancies of around 20-22%. And I decided to go and hire 400 more rooms.
Completely counterintuitive.
Completely, I think, at that point of time, because when you have the rooms, why would you go and hire more rooms? I had rooms, but then how were those rooms? So I needed rooms which were different, where I could call my customers back and say. And luckily for me, the promoter and the people who were holding the company at that time supported me on my move and said, go ahead. Getting to know, it seems so simple these days. Getting the mobile number and email ID of a customer was a big thing for us. And I thought that would make us jump, take that huge leap. And we put teams on it, and in 6 months we collected a lot of data. Then we went about getting our older customers back to us to holiday. We had to talk to them and ask them to come back. And then we had to set up a sales presence, get some people in. I always believe that while you have leaders and leadership team, once it comes into operations, a strong middle management team, and when I say strong and middle management team which continues, is very important. So this is something we ensured and got ourselves a team. In fact, the first 2 years, I was playing lots of roles because we had to refurbish properties. So I was involved there. I was the head of sales for quite some time. It is another matter that, we couldn't afford too many people, and not very many people would join Sterling also. It is entirely different today. People are willing to do us. So we went through a lot of trouble, but we went through it together. I think this team, sort of stuck together and said, we will get out of it. And the first vote of confidence for that came when I went and made a presentation of our strategy for Sterling to Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and at the end of which he said he would put in money into the company. And from there on, I think we moved on, and things have been good for us. We even took the decision to move from a very small office to a large office, even though it would mean, I wanted people to have that confidence. We wanted that space to be able to service. So we did a lot of things which were, as you said, counterintuitive to move on. But the one thing I decided was that I will not do anything about the brand. And we will keep it as it is. And I wanted people, the members, to first talk about it, get the experience, feel, and move forward. Finally, one OTA was very, helpful and said, all right, we will give you 50 lakhs and let us see what business, we can get. And this, they said, was for a period of 1 year, but we ran through the 50 lakhs in something like 40-45 days. And from then on, our business has been growing. And the number of room nights now, members and non-members are almost equal. And I'm happy to say that we are for the largest OTAs in the country, we are one of the largest provider of leisure room nights. I think that is a substantial change, and all this was achieved in the background. So I was waiting for, it's like you wait for the milk to come to a boil and before you make your coffee. And it's something like that. I was waiting for a few things to happen correctly, to say this is the right time now for us to start rebranding, and thinking of rebranding and starting the effort on rebranding.